Good afternoon, Dominic. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for sparing the time to talk about Blueprint One and some of the transformation that's taking place in the current Lloyd's market. Obviously, you've been around EC3 circles for quite some time now. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about how you got to this position.
Absolutely. So by way of introduction, Dominick Hoare. I'm the Group Chief Underwriting Officer for the Munich Re Syndicate here in Lloyd's. I started my career in the mid-80s, initially as a broker, but then moved quite quickly to underwriting, developing my skills in the energy sector. And I've been working with Munich Re Syndicate for the last 25 years, and very much at the forefront of leading the syndicate into its new specialty profile, and I think we've been very successful. And within that capacity, totally committed to Blueprint One at Lloyd's. Indeed, I'm also a member of the Council of Lloyd's, which gives me an added impetus to make sure it's delivered.
Dominic, understand that Munich Re has been at the vanguard of Lloyd's Syndicate in a box, which Advantage Go has been helping you develop. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, I think taking Blueprint One as an overall, the underlying thrust of the whole thing is one of cost.
Right.
The Lloyd's market has to reduce operating costs as well as acquisition costs to retain its competitive edge. And within that overall panorama, you have Syndicate in a box, which became attractive for us sort of late last year. And us and our colleagues at Munich Re, we sensed an opportunity to deliver a new underwriting platform in the London market, in the Lloyd's market, that's agile, low cost, and really developing into new products such as pandemic, which is obviously very current, autonomous vehicles, renewables, and microparametrics. And the key there for us, as I said, is to do it in a sort of low-cost environment and building upon the huge expertise and resource of Munich Re, but have a beacon of innovation in the Lloyd's market, which can really drive the back of the Lloyd's distribution and the Lloyd's global licenses.
Presumably you personally were quite involved in the input into Syndicate in a box, were you?
Yes, absolutely. And it required some quite sort of quick moving because we collectively wanted to make sure it got announced at Blueprint One end of September, which gave us a very short time frame. So we had to work very quickly with all our colleagues and external vendors to actually deliver that, which we successfully did. And we're very proud in doing so. And now we're in the kind of, so if you like, the slightly tougher phase where we've actually got out there and sell product, but that is now happening.
Yeah, so far so good though.
So far so good.
So far so good, and that's what we like to hear.
We have some great support from many people.
Okay, and what about other sort of prime components of Blueprint One, such as the complex risk platform? I mean, how important is that?
Yeah, I think the complex risk platform is very important because essentially that is, although it's in many ways it's the simple risk platform, it's just getting an electronic platform up there for us to trade on, and that's got to be at the cornerstone of any cost reduction. So that's one initiative I'd very much like to see being seized early and delivered to the market, because the market, the traded direction has been set. We're now 70% of our risks are traded electronically, but we need to refine that and deliver a more efficient platform. And in my mind, that's the complex risk platform that Lloyd's are discussing.
Okay, and what about some of the sort of secondary components of Blueprint One? Right. What do you think are important there? I think like a lot of these things, you go for the easy wins first. Okay. I think you take the claims environment. Lloyd's has always had a very efficient and quick claims paying service. I think probably that might have lost our edge there a bit over the years, so we need to... Sorry, why do you think that is in terms of... I think we need to embrace more automation. I think particularly on the smaller claims, which are dealt with very inefficiently. We need to work out a more nimble way of dealing with such claims. You can easily spend more money adjusting a small claim than the claim itself, which is nonsense. Yes. Okay, and just looking more broadly at some market dynamic at the moment, obviously there's an interesting commentary on perhaps the disconnect between primary and reinsurance pricing, and you're very much at the coalface. What's your view on sort of how primary rates are faring in the market at the moment, in the London market?
Well, in the London market, and in particular the specialty market where we are very strong, we're seeing good movement in rate across nearly all our lines. Okay. I wouldn't say we're in a classic hard market, but we're certainly in an improving market. and a market that's now showing some very good opportunity in certain areas. You're right to say that does seem to be a slight disconnect between insurance and reinsurance, and in turn with the retro markets. I suspect that will start to balance out as we go through 2020. But in broad terms, the market is stronger than it has been for probably over a decade.
Sure, and reinsurance pricing is quite attractive at the moment, I'm guessing.
Reinsurance pricing is fair. I'm surprised it's not a firmer market, but I think that will come.
Okay, and what about shall we say, the less experienced underwriters in the market at the moment? We haven't quite seen a market dynamic like this in terms of hardening for a while.
Yes.
Do you think they possess the necessary skills to take advantage of the current sort of hardening?
Absolutely. I think they have the necessary expertise. What they lack on experience, I think, can be offset by the undoubted talent that we've attracted over recent years into the market.
Can I just stop you there? I mean, do you think there's genuine talent in the market? Because often people talk about a skills shortage in Lloyd's.
I think we have attracted some very good talent over the last decade or so. It will be a challenge to maintain attracting good talent, but with good talent and good existing leadership, the more experienced individuals, we should better lead and develop those underwriting skills in this current market.
Excellent.